honorable guests and dear friends, at the outset, I express my gratitude and thankfulness for inviting me. I am Father Manojkumar Naik from Orissa, and I congratulate Solidarity Youth Movement for organizing such program here. In fact, KP Sasi ji, so many times he tells us, violence takes place to Christians in one part and the other part doesn't know even. So also to Muslims, in so many places Muslims are attacked and violence takes place, but the other part Muslims do not know even. But the Solidarity Movement, with a lot of thoughtfulness, are interested to protect the rights of the violence victims. Therefore, this opportunity is really fitting for all of us. I am grateful and thankful to all of you for organizing this program, dear friends from Solidarity Youth Movement. I would like to start my talk with my own personal experience. In 2008, there was violence in Kandhmal. Kandhmal is one of the districts in Orissa. And on 25th August, 7 people were killed from my village, including a Christian Catholic priest. And the mob caught hold of my father and they put axe on my father's neck and they said, if you want to survive, you have to convert your religion, you have to be a Hindu or else we'll kill you just now. 7 people were killed. Therefore my father said, okay, I will be Hindu. He remained for more than 2 years as a Hindu. I couldn't go back to my village for almost 3 years. And once my father wrote me a letter to me saying, in this world, the only option to survive is to be a Hindu. Tell your elder brother, my elder brother is a high school headmaster, tell your elder brother to be a Hindu or else we cannot survive. This is the experience, dear friends, from 1967 onwards, when Swami Lakhananand Saraswati, a BHP leader, he was sent to Kandhmal district with the attitude, with the intention of converting to make Ghar Wapasi programs in the district. And a lot of programs have been conducted and thousands of people have been reconverted, have returned back to Hinduism just because of insecurity, because they might be killed at any time. So that is the situation that I have been experiencing, dear friends. When I was a student studying in the ME school, 6th and 7th standard, this same Swami Lakhananand Saraswati, he came with Rath. Rath is a car with a Hindu picture. And they came with a mission to destroy, to attack so many churches. And they went around and they destroyed in 86, 87, 84 to 86. More than 30 churches they destroyed. And a few people were killed. That was my experience those days itself. And from childhood onwards, I have grown so much with insecurity. There is no freedom at all. There is no freedom to practice my religion freely. I am not free to eat what I like to eat. I am not free to wear what I want to wear. That is the situation that I have been growing, dear friends. Sometimes I feel, even after becoming so mature, I feel sometimes, should I become a Hindu? Even becoming a priest also, I also feel sometimes it is safer for me to be a Hindu and not to be a Christian. That is my experience, dear friends. Therefore, in Orissa, in 1967 itself, Orissa enacted the first Orissa Freedom of Religion Act, OFRA it is called as, which enacted, and it became it was act in 1967, it became a rule in 1969, and which instead of giving us freedom, it restricts religious freedom. It doesn't allow us to practice our religion. It curtails our freedom totally. Instead of giving us freedom, rather it forces us to be Hindu, to practice all Hinduistic philosophy, Hinduistic ideologies. Article 25 tells us that we are free to practice and propagate our religion. We also see the Article 18 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which says everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. But all these we cannot have freedom in Orissa. That is my experience. Even Orissa Freedom of Religious Act, it is given, whereas it restricts our freedom. If one wants to convert their his or her religion, they have to go to the ADM, Additional District Magistrate, to get prior permission to change their religion. In the recent even Jharkhand anti-religious conversion law, even it is more against stringent. The priest has to go, or whoever also is there participating in the prayer service. If someone converts, if someone files case, everyone has to go to jail. This kind of anti-conversion laws have come, which restricts our freedom. And that the same thing we see, if a Hindu scheduled caste, if he changes his religion, then according to Presidential Rule 1950, he loses all SC status. There is no provision for him. He cannot get employment. He cannot get scholarship. This kind of issues I have been experiencing in Orissa, dear friends. For them, if one converts from Christianity to Hinduism, it is gharo apasi. Whereas if one converts from Hinduism to Christianity, it is a crime. So that is the experience in Orissa we are having. In fact, in Odisha we have 2.4% of Christians, and from years altogether. If I quote Kandhamal district itself, out of 7 lakh population, about 18% are Christians. And Kandhamal and Baudh, 2 districts were together, and the number was same, percentage of Christians were same. Whereas when it is divided also, there are no Christians in both districts. Hence, in Kandhamal itself only that 18% remains till now. No one has increased, no number has increased, but we are blamed that there is increase of Christianity, and hence we are attacked by RSS, BHP and Bajrang Dal. In fact, the conversion itself is a constitutional right, but the constitutional right we are not allowed to profess or practice or propagate. Conversion is a natural right, dear friends. As a child wants to cry or to laugh, so also we are free to naturally think and decide what is good for us, which faith is good for us, which religion is good for us, but that also we are not allowed to do. And situation of Dalits and tribals in Odisha is really pathetic. They are almost behaved like animals, those who do not have conscience to think, those who do not have conscience to decide. Therefore, we are not allowed to give freedom. We are not allowed to eat whatever we like or practice whatever faith we want to practice. So that is the OFRA, Orissa Freedom of Religious Act, which prevents us. It says, no person shall convert or attempt to convert, either directly or otherwise, any person from one religious faith to another by use of force or by inducement or by fraudulent means, nor shall any person abet any such conversion. The 3 points just I want to mention, that with forceful conversion, with fraudulent, and with inducement. In fact, all these restrictions are there. I have never witnessed any forceful conversion in Orissa by Christians nor by Muslims. Rather, what I have witnessed in 2007 and 8 violence, I will be explaining to you, that rather from the part of BHP groups, RSS groups, there is forceful conversion. There are so many ceremonies and functions organized, and where it is declared that thousands of people or hundreds of families have been reconverted and they have come Gaurapasi to their natural religion, they say. But rather, and instead all are Christians or Muslims, they do not convert. That I have never witnessed in Orissa. And it is also said that inducement, by providing charity or by giving things, people are converted. We have never seen anybody giving any things or doing charitable work. In fact, what I feel is, I have experienced, our religions tell us for service. Our religions are known for its service, its education or medical facilities. Hence, our religious people usually do this kind of charity, not with the intention to convert others. Whereas we are blamed as these charitable works are done because we want to convert, which is not true at all. And there is fraudulent means. It is use of fraud. We never used any fraud to convert anybody. There is freedom. In fact, in Christianity, we give even 6 months to 1 year time. If anyone wants to change their religion, they want to practice any faith with their freedom, they can start practicing for 6 months or 1 year. Only then they will be accepted to the religion. So there is no fraudulent, there is no cheating. We don't cheat anybody so that they come to our religion. But all these restrictions are given to us, blames are given to us, that we convert the people and we want them to come to us, which is not true at all. So my experiences I want to quote, my dear friends. From 1984 to 86 itself, what just I mentioned, when I was studying 6th standard, there were attacks by Swami Lakhananand and BHP groups, and more than 30 churches had been destroyed those days itself, which I have witnessed by myself. In January 99, Graham Staines and his 2 sons, Philip and Timothy, were burnt in the vehicle itself. When they were in prayer service, they were in the jeep, and they were burnt alive in the jeep, which all of you must have heard. They were Australian missionaries, they were burnt alive. In the same year, in the month of September, Father Arul Das, he is from a Tamilian, but he was working in one of the districts in Mayurbhanj in Orissa, and he also was shot by arrows because he was a priest, he was praying with the tribals of that area. Therefore, if this kind of incidents take place, usually the attacks take place, then people will be threatened. They may not pray, but rather they might return to Hinduism. With that intention, they cause this kind of incidents, dear friends, which is really pathetic. In 2001, one more priest, Father Lameswar Kaur, was beaten thoroughly. He was beaten to dead almost, and he was dragged to be sacrificed. At the last moment, one of the ladies just protected him, and he is alive now. In 2007 and 8 violence, in Kandhamal, more than 600 villages were ransacked. 6,500 houses were looted and burnt. At least 56,000 people were left homeless. 393 churches were desecrated and destroyed. About 101 people were killed during the violence. More than 40 women were raped, including a nun. About 2,000 people were forced to renounce their faith with forceful conversions. 12,000 children had to leave their studies. Their studies were disrupted. 143 various other institutions, NGOs, charitable organizations, schools, all these were attacked. And so this kind, it took place in 2007 and 8 in Kandhamal, dear friends. Therefore, we are not free to practice our faith and our religion. The RSS and BHP groups, they use threats and terrors. Constantly they use threats and terrors. Many Ghar Wapasi programs have been organized, and it is declared that so many families, hundreds of families have returned to the own fold, own religion. In his speech, Swami Lakhanand Saraswati used to say always the terrorizing speech that you kill Christians, you kill Muslims, you rape Christians and you rape Muslims. As long as I am there, they are not allowed to stay here. This is the speech that Swami Lakhanand Saraswati used to give. Always only terrorizing, always only threatening. Those who eat their beef, they are not allowed to eat beef openly. If someone wants to eat very much secretly in the forest, they kill and they eat. Or else we are not allowed to eat beef. If someone is caught, then he is taken into so much difficulties and he is filed case. The situation is unexplainable, dear friends. Sometimes I have also seen in Christian schools, Saraswati and Ganapati festivals are forcefully celebrated. If we say we are Christians and we cannot, then we are no more allowed there. Rather, we are beaten and their buildings are broken and demolished. There are so many times pastors are attacked, their houses are burnt, their motorcycles are burnt. This kind of issues we can witness in Orissa constantly, dear friends. My experience I have already started sharing with my father's experience. So also, I have seen during 2007 and 8 violence, there is a village called Pirigada. About 32 families are there. And all the villagers were in 2008 converted into Hinduism, forcefully converted into Hinduism. Their heads were tonsured and they had to undergo a lot of rituals, and they were forced to drink cow dung waters. In Orissa, to be a Hindu, to return back to their village, to their religion, means drinking cow dung water. Or sometimes even the feet of Swami Lakhanand Saraswati was washed, and with that water, with that dirty water, actually they had to drink, which symbolized they returned back to their village. This kind we have witnessed in 2007 and 8. Where is freedom? Where is freedom? In fact, is a very big question, dear friends. I would like to give two very specific examples. One, Parikshit Naik, my own cousin from my village, was killed piece by piece. Before killing him, they tortured him for 4 hours in front of his wife and 2 children, 2 girl children. They killed him. Just before killing him, they asked, we want to spare you. We want to leave you unkilled. We want to leave you alive if you leave Christ. If you want to be a Hindu. He said, no, I will not be a Hindu. And he was killed in front of his wife and children, piece by piece. Head was separate, legs were separate, hands were separate, dear friends. So also, Rajesh Digal, a pastor, he had a Bible in his bag. When they found the Bible in his bag, they started beating him and they dragged him kilometers and they buried in a ditch alive. They said, let your Jesus come and he let him rise you. Yeah. And about Pastor Samuel, he was also reading the Bible. They started beating him. His mother also was very old and she was handicapped, like not able to walk. After killing Pastor Samuel Naik, he also was asked same question. He said, no, I will not be a Hindu. And he was killed just close to his house, on the behind his house. And in the same fire, Pastor Samuel and his mother, both of them were burnt. This is the situation we experience. There is another rape victim. When her uncle denied to be a Hindu, she was raped. And even there are so many, even a nun was raped those days. I have experienced during Kandmal violence, people, those who lost their houses, when they wanted to rebuild their houses, sand, stones, firewood, or wood to reconstruct their house was not allowed to taken to the house. Rather, the drivers or the vehicle which was carrying was fined. This is the situation in Kandmal, dear friends. the justice delivery system is so bad. In the courts, we see people, all, even judges, the police, the advocates, even the PP, public prosecutor himself, one who is appointed by government, all of them are from, with that attitude, or from BHP community, from Hindu community, and therefore there is no justice at all. If I will just give the, in summary, I will give the statistics. More than 3,300 complaints had been filed, out of which about 120 FIRs were registered. Out of 120 FIRs also, only 518 cases were charge sheeted. Out of these 518 cases, only 247 cases were disposed of. Which means when from 3,300 cases, if 247 cases, only 5% cases had been have been disposed of, percentage-wise, and the conviction rate is when we one of the studies which Brinda Graver from Supreme Court and one Soumya Uma, professor from Mumbai Law University, both of them made a study, and as per their studies, only 1% justice had been given to us, and all otherwise only conviction, only no convictions at all, only acquittals. The present context and challenges that I find in Kandhamal, in among the tribals, even the tribal Christians, to issue a caste certificate, they have to go to BHP groups to get recommendation. Only with their recommendation only, the caste certificate is issued by the government officials, by the Tahsildar or by video or whatever provisions can be given. Unless they give recommendation, even the tribal Christians cannot get their provisions or their rights. There are 7 innocent victims languishing in the jail for last 10 years, dear friends. In 2008 itself, there are 7 innocent victims who are called, they are taken to the jail, and they are blamed that they have killed Swami Lakhananand Saraswati. But actually, they are innocent. There is no evidence at all that they have killed. But still, they, in spite of a lot of filing, lot of demands from the people from there, we are not able to get justice. We are not able to release them. They are still in jail, languishing with a lot of difficulties, dear friends. That is the present situation. We do not get jobs, no employment, no scholarship for us once we become Christians. As students, the way they suffer is really very much pathetic that we experience. There is Durga Bahini, which is one of the RSS wings, the women RSS wings. And they are so vibrantly active that they can do whatever they like. They go to the government offices and they threaten the officials. They even, very much interesting, we see even women wearing sacred thread. Even women wearing sacred thread, which is unimaginable for us there. Such a way they are brainwashed, and that is the situation that we are living there, dear friends. There is always a fear and insecurity that at any time we might be attacked, we might be killed. In one of the houses I have seen just recently, in one house, as we enter, we see a Christian house. When Hindus go there, they just turn the photo opposite. On the other side of the photo, there is Hindu picture. One side Hindu Krishna's picture, and on the other side of the photo, there is Jesus' picture. That is the insecure feeling that we are having there, dear friends. So I really feel the RSS and VHP are so much active, and they do not give us freedom. Although we have OFRA, Religious Freedom Act in Orissa, but it doesn't give us freedom, rather it restricts us. Therefore, I appeal all of you, dear friends, that all of us, those who are persecuted units or groups, persecuted sections of groups, of communities, we need to come together. There has to be unity among us. There has to be networking and cooperation among us, so that we always strive to build a peaceful coexistence in India. India will be changed through our cooperation, through our unity, when we come together and fight for our justice and right. With that call, I conclude my talk. Thank you very much.